to decry them. But any good faith effort to stop political violence must hold both parties to the same standard and expectation. So in that spirit, will you condemn the violent rhetoric of Donald Trump, the most powerful and influential person on earth?
I appreciate your question. You know my heart. Why would I ever say, yes, go murder people? This is so much deeper than just one. I understand your sentiment. I do. But this is also so much deeper than just one person. This starts at the home, okay? This starts with family. This starts with a seed that grows and grows. You can choose to have evil in your heart, or you can choose to have light. What you consume and what you absorb from the outside world will manifest itself. No, I will never agree with political violence. My husband is a victim of it. I'm a victim of it. But what I'm trying to say here is that we can blame everyone else. We have to look in the mirror. When you become a father, when you become a mother, how are you raising your kids?
With CBS News being taken over by Bari Weiss and the Ellisons, this is the new normal for a once well-respected outlet. I mean, look at the nonsense they tweeted over and over again on their social media. Our media as a whole has been taken over, y'all.
Are you taking responsibility, or are you giving them a device and saying, go down that rabbit hole? I'm trying to go to Pilates class. You can just sit in the corner and look at your iPad or look at your phone and go down that rabbit hole and see what you can learn from that instead of being a parent. So my call to action from that is, parents, step up. Do you want your kid to be a thought leader or an assassin? That's where we're at.
Do you think our political leaders have a responsibility to turn the temperature down right now?
Well, I think everyone has a responsibility to do that, and I'm doing my part. I'm not in control of other people.
Okay, ahead.
It's a truly insane answer to a fair question. She blamed moms in Pilates instead of Trump's violence inflicted on our communities. Insane.
Is there a difference, Erika, between forgiving someone in a religious and spiritual sense, but also wanting justice for them here on earth?
No, of course. But we serve a just God. And I rest easy in knowing that. He's sovereign, but he's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
Rightfully, she's being mocked online for her dramatic approach with her media tour. In sports, we certainly do have a problem linking one storied franchise and Charlie Kirk's organization.
So Turning Point just released their lineup for America Fest happening in Arizona. As you can see, this Aryan hate rally has everything from J.D. Vance to Erika Kirk, Steve Bannon, Tucker Carlson. Wait, who's that right there? Chicago Cubs third baseman Matt Shaw. Look, I love baseball. I love the Chicago Cubs. I'm a diehard Cubs fan, but I also love my country, which is why I don't like seeing Matt Shaw participate in this un-American garbage. And some might say, Josh, he's paid to perform on the field. What he does with his private life shouldn't really affect the baseball team. Absolutely not. In fact, last season, his rookie year, he left the team and missed several games so he could go attend his friend Charlie Kirk's funeral, a guy he had met a handful of times. Which is even more egregious considering the fact that he was a rookie and struggling offensively, meaning I'm not sure how the coaching staff allowed him to do that. I'm also really curious how his black and brown teammates and coaches feel about this, going to an event that vehemently supports ICE and the deportation of hardworking, tax-paying patriots. If I were Matt Shaw, I'd be more concerned on getting my batting average above the Mendoza line than participating in this absolutely un-American filth.
Shout out to Josh the Progressive on TikTok, because he absolutely cooked here. Shaw should remind himself.
I saw that you guys have a Charlie Kirk picture outside, so I thought I would just read you some of his best quotes that I personally find very touching. We'll start with this one. We made a huge mistake when we passed the Civil Rights Act in the 1960s. These are direct quotes. I'm not adding any words, okay? Women should not work, but instead serve their husbands and raise children. It's awkward, right? Let's sit in the silence of that for a second. If my 10-year-old daughter were raped and became pregnant, I would not allow her to have an abortion. You should look at me when I'm reading these to you.
Just taking notes.
Yeah, let's keep eye contact while I read you these uncomfortable quotes from the guy you idolize. Okay? He referred to transgender individuals, which are human beings, as a, quote, throbbing middle finger to God. Would God say that? I don't think God would say that. Birth control has created very angry and bitter young ladies, and women in their early 30s, they're past their prime. How old is Erika Kirk? The widow? Is she staying at home? Doesn't sound like it. Maybe she's with J.D. Vance. Abortion is our modern Holocaust. If a 6-week-old fetus is not alive, then what does abortion do to the fetus? That's like saying an 88-year-old with dementia isn't really alive. It's a great guy, right? It's a great man to idolize, to put on every other Republican door in our state capitol. A man who doesn't believe in the civil rights movement.
My favorite thing I ever saw of Charlie Kirk, I think.
And if he doesn't want to listen to TikTok user, hey, it's Twig, because she's a woman, I will also carry the torch. He hated the Civil Rights Act. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Called Juneteenth a racial complaining day. Was quoted as saying, blacks are far more, I had overnight oats, I'm not re-editing that, are far more likely to commit crimes than any other group, said systemic racism is not real, called George Floyd a scumbag, said he died from a drug overdose. That's not true. None of this is true. Blamed a black fire chief in Austin, Texas for flooding deaths that occurred a 3-hour drive away from the city. Called Kyle Rittenhouse a hero. His group, TPUSA, viewed immigrants as an existential threat to white Christian America. He espoused great replacement theory. That is a neo-Nazi conspiracy theory. He called for doxing professors he disagreed with. Should I, do I need to keep going? I guess I can keep going. Called for public executions and said they should be televised. God. When Zoran won the primary, now a Muslim socialist is on pace to run New York City. 24 years ago, a group of Muslims killed 2,753 people on 9/11. That is pure Islamophobia. Look, I'm not going to go through this. Here's what I will say. As Tom Morello pointed out once upon a time, and it rings true today, if you have one Nazi at a table and there are 10 people total, and the other 9 don't say anything and go along with it, you have 10 Nazis. Matt Shaw says that he was invited by the Kirk family to go to not even the funeral, the celebration of life, I suppose you can call it, which, by the way, the Arizona Cardinals were doo-doo after hosting that. But nonetheless, I believe that this is a failure to read the room. And I will guarantee he is going to go up on that stage and he is going to say that he is being persecuted by the Chicago media, by liberals, by leftists, by socialists, by communists, by Marxists, whatever, for his faith. I am guaranteeing it. Because this man has no defense. I would love to sit across from Matt Shaw, and I would love to read these quotes from a man that he is going to eulogize, I suppose, at this Turning Point USA event. I mean, I expect the bad faith actors, right? I expect Russell Brand. I expect Officer Tatum. Do I expect Matt Shaw to be there? No, I just don't. He says he doesn't have social media on his phone, yet he's a huge Charlie Kirk supporter. he went to that monstrosity in Arizona, and he is going to be a speaker at this Turning Point USA event. It is remarkable, truly, how this man cannot read the room. Or maybe he can, and he loves it. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.